It's okay. I understand. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to DieTyeRadio. We have Z, Kayla, and Nina, and me today. So, we are today talking about Black Man in Therapy. Z, would you like to show us the video that you sent us?
Yeah. Can y'all give me a second?
Yep.
Think it's a long ass video though, but all right.
Also, we truly apologize to all of you who are waiting on Twitch to join us.
Yeah, we had our own discussion. Y'all was waiting.
We got sidetracked.
Well, hello. It's your friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these hoes, but got her job terminated as a result. Story time? I think yes. Shit you not, I posted a video on Monday telling men that their dusty behavior is only harming them and that they would benefit from emotional intelligence. And I shit you not, by Friday, didn't have employment. All of this started with a Psychology Today article stating that men are lonelier than ever because they have no fucking emotional skills. And I agreed and doubled down and told y'all that y'all lives would radically improve if you expanded the shit that came out your mouth. But instead of healing, y'all will do anything but that. Instead of being accountable, like, hey, this bitch see me, and stirred a little bit, y'all got so hurt that you contacted NASA. That's exactly what happened.
That part kills me every
So
time.
first the post goes viral on Twitter, because y'all need fucking help. And the bitches blew till they fucking blew in the face. Some of you hoes is not gonna be saved. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. So because this shit's going viral, I'm thinking, okay, cool, we starting a discussion on mental health, and people are, you might not like my fucking delivery, but motherfuckers is starting to talk, shaking the tables, I don't give a fuck. But then it turns into this entire crusade of attacking a black woman who serves the fucking black community. There were comments like, I'm gonna find her credentials and report her, because I told y'all to be better? Yeah, y'all are fucking weird. Y'all scream that y'all want to protect women, protect black women specifically, but have done nothing to protect this black woman who has been serving the communities. I have been violated in several areas, and I'm gonna outline each one. This article was written by a fucking black woman, putting my full government and my place of employment. So being doxxed by a black woman can't fake, kind of fucking hurts, and she never once reached out to me. I could spend my side of the story. This is the article that spooked my fucking job and got me fired. Not only did she not have any regard for my safety, many other articles have been written as a result. Here are a few of them, just to name a few. Black Twitter has words for therapists scolding men to go to fucking therapy. Y'all attacked me and got mad at me because I wanted better for y'all. That's the most crab in the barrel bucket type bullshit I've ever heard in my fucking life. A plethora of black men decided to take it upon themselves to call my employment to get me fired. You succeeded, but you succeeded in not the way that you think. If it's one thing about black women is that we're incredibly resilient. This just cleared the table to give me space and opportunity to educate the masses while shaking our asses to healing because y'all got mad because I wanted you to do better. I was told they consulted with shareholders and decided to terminate my contract because I told y'all to go to therapy. That's the word we live. I fucking love it here. First off, y'all bitches just...
Yeah, we're not going through that whole ass video again.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
All right. So, would you like to share your opinion, Z, about the whole...
Y'all can go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all talk again. I'm shut up.
Okay.
Like men talk.
I mean, it was, but I'm the only one here, so it's just a regular day today. Y'all talk.
Oh, and then we'll go.
Yep.
I ain't got nothing to say.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna restate what I said prior to us starting the live. I believe in her message. However, her approach was very rude, and most people would not actively listen and understand where she's coming from. You can kind of tell that she's emotionally hurt, and granted, she has a justified reason to be hurt. However, she has to really acknowledge the fact that her tone, the words that she used were very, very abusive, almost. Actually, not even almost. It was abusive. Let's state what it is, unfortunately. And if she is a therapist, like she says she is, she would understand that people are more delicate when they don't know how to fix a certain situation or when they have trauma, which is most cases with men and women alike. People who need to actively learn how to communicate their emotions and need emotional intelligence can't really convey how they feel. So, with something so vulnerable and something so fragile of feelings and trauma, how can you verbally say you need to fucking go to therapy? You're a fucking bitch if you don't know how to communicate your feelings. That is not the correct way to approach it. You have to be more delicate. You have to be nurturing. And I get it. You're frustrated because you're hurt that someone called your job and basically got you fired. That's very justified, but not to the extent of verbally abusing and assaulting men to the point where you did. I believe in your message. Everyone needs emotional intelligence, not just men, women too. We all need it. So again, like I said, I believe in her message of everyone needs emotional intelligence, but the way she said it, the tone, her body language, everything about what she said that came out of her mouth was not correct. Not the right way to do it. That's my take on it. Z, would you like to start now? Or would you like Kayla to start?
Kayla can go. Ladies first.
We
Your mic turned out, baby.
I think it's because can you hear me now?
Yes,
I think it's because I be having the phone sitting the wrong way. Come on,
maybe.
let
Go
let,
ahead.
let it on the people. Let them know how you.
I ain't got nothing to lay on, man. Listen, like I said, I'm Gucci. In my, like I said, I'm gonna just leave it at. I'm not even gonna go to the whole little like thing. In my opinion, I feel like it's just a lot. It's a lot of people talking, not enough people listening. And it's funny to me how her job is literally to listen to people, but yet she's talking. She's telling people she wants people to have, or men to have emotional, intelligence. But how she's talking lets you know she don't really have emotional intelligence herself. And it's like, all right, well, it's like calling the tea, the teapot calling the kettle black type shit. Like, so it's kind of like, all right, bro, like, it's really no point. And like I was talking to them earlier, like, bro, it's that the way how she speak is why men don't like talking. Like, we got that from a young age. So it's like, why am I gonna speak to somebody who's just gonna keep doing the same thing to me that I was done at a young age? I'm gonna just not say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, is it sad? Yeah, it's very sad to her. I agree. Her message is 100. But everybody needs help. Everybody needs to go find them some help. But that's not how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, in my opinion, it's a lot of people talking in these situations, but it's not a lot of people listening. Everybody's ready to talk about what they want and what they think they should and everything, but no one's willing to listen and be like, okay, what is it that you really need? And really, be honest with you, Ben just asked for a safe space to speak where they can really say what they want freely. But every chance we get, we say something y'all don't like, we get canceled for it or we get destroyed for it. So it's like, all right. That's why, again, it's another reason why a lot of men don't like speaking, man. It's been a lot of moments where us speaking has put us in bad positions. So a lot of men just choose not to talk.
And I will agree. I will definitely say that I try to make effort into making people feel safe to actively talk to me by just listening and basically being empathetic. Is it empathetic or sympathetic? I can't remember.
I think it's
Empathetic.
But anyway,
Empathetic.
I watched this video of someone basically saying it's a choice to be empathetic. And it's your choice to actively hear what someone's saying and be like, yeah, I've been there and it's going to be okay. I am going to support you with this. You can actively be more helpful if you just listen to someone talk and actively hear what they have to say and actively acknowledge their hurt and pain. You don't always have to give them a solution. Sometimes they just gotta vent. Just like us women, we like to vent to get it off our chest so we can think things out and figure it out. And like, I believe you said this, D. Venting doesn't help men. However, it's good to talk about it and get things sorted out when you actively put the words into it, because you
I'm not
are
gonna
now
say
able to
I'm not gonna say venting. If I said that, then let me reframe what I said because it wasn't. I don't remember saying it exactly like that. But if I did, then let me reframe it.
I'm
It's not
paraphrasing.
venting. It's not venting. Isn't the problem? It's when the man is over venting. As in, if
Mm,
he's always fucking venting, it's not. If he's
Oh no,
always crying about a situation.
you're saying that venting doesn't help you guys because you got, but when I say you got me men, but you were saying that venting doesn't help men because you guys are problem solvers
Yeah,
and you
we are
like
problem solvers. We try to look for if we're speaking on a situation. If we're speaking on a situation, we're looking trying to fix the situation. But are there moments where we
mm,
vent? Yes, where we're just mad and we just want to get the anger out. Yeah, but we understand as again that we can't vent forever. So if
mm-hmm,
we're over, as in if we're just sitting here just venting to you all the time about everything's wrong every day, eventually you're gonna be like, bro, shut the fuck up.
mm-hmm,
I don't want to hear your shit. So we understand that we can't vent. That's what I mean by men don't vent. We like to speak as in we trying to find a solution. Sometimes do we speak out loud? Yeah, we speak out loud. I admit it sometimes. Sometimes I should be speaking out loud where I'm just talking to figure it
mm-hmm.
out. But sometimes it's easier for me to talk it out loud to where it makes more sense versus because in my mind I'm it's jumbled up. I'm thinking a bunch
Yep.
of things at one time. So sometimes I'll speak it out loud to where it just comes out more and makes more sense for me to think of versus thinking in my head. So like I said, if I did say that way, then let me reframe it. Again, it's not that men don't want to vent or if venting for men is a problem. It's
You
that
you
over venting.
talk about it to
Yeah, you
sort
talk
through
about it
your
to get it out the
thoughts.
way. You
Uh-huh.
talk about it to get it out the way, but you don't want to talk about it the way it's there every day. You feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm talking about it every day, you're gonna get annoyed.
Of course.
So it's like, all right, I have to vent to where I get it out, and then I don't speak on it no more.
Mm-hmm. So let's bring it back to our original conversation of how we do want you to talk about how you feel. And granted, yes, most women need to actively sit down and listen and not actively say anything, but hear your words and hear what you mean by your words and actively pay attention to your body language as well. Because you are actively being vulnerable with us. We cannot take this lightly. You don't do this with everybody. You don't, you're not taking the time or the chance to just be vulnerable and get it out the way. You're actively showing another part of yourself, in a sense, if I'm making sense.
Hmm?
So, again, we as women and just people in general, let's stop separating the two. People in general need to listen more about how other people feel and what their experience was, because our experiences are not the same. They can be similar, but they're not the same all the time. So we have to actively learn how to listen to people and give people the chance to feel safe. We have to actively be aware of our tone and be aware of our body language, because those are key indicators of how we feel as people. Would you agree or disagree?
I agree. We need safe spaces, but at the same time, here's the issue, right? That I hear a lot of men speak on too, right? There's a lot of safe spaces for women, as in you have a lot of safe spaces where it's purely women, where you can speak purely with women. There's not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
safe spaces where it's just pure men, where men can be with men and speak. There's not a lot of safe spaces for us.
create them.
We try to. Every time we try to create them, you know what we get called? Toxic. You're being toxic masculinity. Look at all these men trying to be in a room together. Why? Look at y'all trying to be toxic
I
together.
think
Get out this room.
that's I think that's in reference to a bunch of men sitting around talking about women and what women do. Is hold on, finish. Let me. I'm not disagreeing, but I'm telling you what I think that is. But to sit around and talk about like a bunch of women views and how women view the world, and it's just like if y'all getting together for betterment of yourselves, then figure yourselves out and talk about like what would be best for men and how men would feel better if they did this. Like, in your safe space, what do you want your safe space
But
to be about? Men, right?
that's your assumption, though. You're not in the room with men to have that assumption. That's what I'm saying. You're just thinking that's what
Are
we're
you
talking
referring
about.
to the podcast with a bunch of men that women are calling toxic? Because that's what I'm talking about.
What do you mean?
Okay, so I see a bunch of men on podcasts, and they're usually talking about women, and in a lot of those comments,
But that again, that's the parts that y'all see that go viral. As in, if you see the other parts of their
that's
podcast
the
and what they talk
video.
about, they're talking about men and about men growth and telling them at that. The issue is that a lot of that it don't be the men that have a problem. It be the women that come watch the men room and watch the all men have their conversation and then have a problem with what they talking about because it doesn't put women in a good space for them. Or it's now telling men that they have to grow. Like prime example, when you see a lot of these podcasts where it's helping men grow standards, women are up. You hear a lot of women, what standards you need? You don't need. Here go men trying to hold us against the standard. It's like wait, so men or men have a preference. Oh look, men trying to discriminate on women and this that and the third. It's like well hold on, like we're telling the same thing that y'all have. Here's the issue that I've also noticed with it. We're saying the same things in our conversations that y'all say in y'all conversations. But
Uh-huh.
yet, like I said, because it's us having the conversations and you have this thinking of we're toxic, we're trying to be over masculine and trying to take control of everything, that's the first thing that you think, that we're just sitting here talking about women all day. Majority of my home are everyone who even y'all been around me, majority of the time we don't talk about this stuff. Like we be really just chilling, having good conversation about whatever business, this and the third. Let's do this, let's do that, how to work business, like bro, how to fix ourselves in situations. So it's never been just I'm gonna sit here and just talk about women all day. We really don't. But it's the ones who come and try to put themselves in our spot. That's the ones that we like, bro. Like that's the ones who we talk about. The ones who keep trying to take our spot for us.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a bunch of men sit and talk, and a bunch of women sit and talk, and everybody's talking about the same thing.
Yeah,
But
everybody
some,
talking
So
about it.
so
it's
here's
just
the
a bunch of
problem
diffuse.
that I'm seeing. We're
And
constantly making assumptions about each other rather than stop making assumptions. We don't know what's going on. We can't actively figure it out. We can't just simply just assume that one person is talking bad about us or negative about the other. We have to actively talk to each other and basically be like, "Can I get your opinion?" And just hear their words for what they are rather than what they could possibly mean, because that's still assuming. I read this book called The Four Agreements, where basically in one of the chapters it tells you to stop assuming things, and it helped me so much to not take things personally in business and in relationships. It helped me to not assume anything of other people based upon something that was said from somebody else or just in general. It's best to actively communicate to that person and figure out where you stand with them.
True.
So
But
again,
that's what I was saying earlier. Everybody likes talking, nobody like listening.
everybody has the same problem.
that
Everybody's
is very
having,
true.
like, women are sitting in a room and like, oh, well, men are. And men this, and the men are sitting in the room, and they're like, "Oh, well, I feel," and there's no this, and it's just. But if we all actively come and like figure it out as a unit,
Hmm.
then we'd be okay.
That is
Like you
very
were saying,
true.
like actively
However,
listen,
here's the thing.
actively
Most
listen.
of those people are
Can you
talking
do
from
that?
a place of hurt. Sorry, I was just saying that people
Okay.
typically who are saying those things come from a place of hurt. It's typically someone hurt that person. A man hurt me, and I'm gonna talk about we should stop talking to these men. They're so fucking toxic. Or a woman has hurt a man. This woman hurt me so many fucking times. I don't want to fucking deal with these women. I'm done. It's a place of hurt, and we have to acknowledge that we're hurt, and because of this we have to either accept that we are hurt and we have to heal from that pain, or we have to acknowledge that our words are going to have consequences and just accept that we are now setting a standard of hurting people is okay. And when you set that standard, that is going to carry on through generation and generation, as like it has did for us today. Hurt people hurt people. So if you are hurt, take the time to say, hey, I'm hurt right now. I cannot socialize. I cannot speak upon this. I'm just feeling it. I need to heal. And I get it. Some people aren't aware of that.
That's why I think a lot of people shouldn't date until like they figured out, at least until they're like self-aware and have actually started like working on the things that like they know that they're damaged in. Like, what good are you if you're just gonna damage a good person?
See?
Hmm?
What's up? What's wrong?
I'm
You
listening.
sure?
I'm
No.
listening.
Okay.
I'm listening. I'm trying to think. I'm just thinking.
I'm aware that you're listening. It's just I'm paying more attention to your body language. So I'm
Right,
asking.
and that's where I want people to understand. It's like sometimes it's just okay. So like I'm gonna be honest with you, as men, we understand that if we with someone that we with for real, that we care for, we gonna learn everything about you in the span of 2-3 months. As in, I'm gonna know your body language. I'm gonna know when to speak to you. I'm gonna know when you walk in the room, she got an attitude. Okay, let me not speak to you. Like, and it's like okay. We'll say what you just said, where we'll be like, okay, I'm not in the mood, I don't feel like talking, and we'll still have people like in your face, like, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Tell me. Why won't you tell me? Why won't you tell me? Please tell me. And you just like, bro, like I just told you I don't want to talk. So now it's like, all right, again, like how she just did, it's like a barking dog at you, just barking, and you just like, well, crap, I don't feel like talking to you now. Like you kind of aggravating me. Like get out my face. So it's like, all right, but I can't speak. Like, and I'm not saying that. Like I said, I agree with y'all saying with of course, everyone needs therapy. Everyone needs help. Everyone needs all that. It's just for men, it's hard to speak because the people who we want to speak to don't want to hear us and be vulnerable. And of course, you'll tell us, yeah, we want to hear you be vulnerable. But again, we understand we cannot be vulnerable forever. Because if I'm vulnerable forever, there's going to be moments where you need to be vulnerable. Now, we both can't be vulnerable. Somebody got to sit here and listen to the other person and be there. And majority of the time, you're more vulnerable than I am. So I have to be ready to listen to you at a time. And then when there's moments where I can be vulnerable, it's at the moments where I'm at my wit's end where I have to be vulnerable. That's why you get the okay, he's flashing out, which I don't agree on flashing out. I feel like people, like I said, if I'm just at my wit's end, I just need to tell you, yo, I need to go get my little space right now. Like, give me I prefer if I got a crib with my shorty, if I ever get that day to have that, I want my own personal like studio room or something like that. Where if I'm in my little mood, let me just go listen to some music over there and then let me mind my business real quick so I can like get my head straight before I come talk to you. Even now, when I get in situations with females and we talking and we dating and I'm upset, I understand that I cannot come to you the way how you want me to come to you. I can't come to you how you come to me. Because if I came to you like that, it would be aggressive. I keep telling y'all that emotional men are aggressive. So if I come to you the way how you come at me, you would be scared. And I don't think women understand that sometimes, how y'all come at us sometimes. We be like, bro, like, fuck, like chill. I can't speak. I don't even want to talk to you. Like you doing too much right now. Like even if I told you, you wouldn't want to hear it. So it's like, all right, bro, give me that space to speak to you so where I can talk to you and be that. Now, and even in the Psychology Today article that she's talking about, which I'm finna bring up and show it to y'all too, it says that where yes, it says about communication skills. Men need to learn communication skills, but it also says it at the end of that paragraph telling you it's something that's hard to learn because they didn't learn that from their childhood. Their family put that on them. They was grown up into that. So they need therapy to learn how to do that, which I agree you do. Put my thing on the chart for a die. Yeah, you need therapy, you do, but it's again, a lot of men, that's the first thing they're gonna come. And I've been to therapy, so that's what I'm saying. I have no issue with therapy. Don't think I have an issue with therapy. But I understand when men, I had an issue with it when I first got talking about therapy because again, every time I spoke about something, even as a child, when I spoke about something, it got swept under the rug very quickly. Very quickly. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna stop speaking. So now y'all tell us, like I said, we grow older, y'all tell us we want you to speak to us and be emotionally available. we say, okay, we start telling y'all our problems, and it's like, well, I guess again, because we not doing it the way how y'all do it, y'all don't see it as emotional. But we really be emotional just telling y'all like, bro, I'm upset, or hey yo, I'm not in a good mood, I don't feel like talking, I'm gonna talk to you in a minute. Like, I may not be sitting here crying or sitting here like just ready to like I'm just, you know, I don't feel like talking right now. I'm not in a good mood, babe. Like, let me just holler at you later. Literally like that. Yo,
Okay.
yeah, we can't hear you again.
But I can't, because here's the thing. Because you'll sit, your body language will be like, oh my God, like I got so much to say. But then we'll be like, hey, talk. And you'll be like, nah, I don't got nothing to say.
Because if I got it, because
let me finish. And then you'll be like, nah, I don't got nothing to say. And then I'll be like, go ahead, Z, talk. No, I don't got nothing to say. And then I'll be like, come on, Z, come on, say what you got to say. And then you'll talk, and it'll be like, why? Like that, not that it's an issue, and I know that it like takes everybody a different amount of time. But like, if you know you have something to say, and I can tell you have something to say with your body language, and because we were literally just talking about this before we got on here, so I know you have something to say. So I just want you to be able to talk for the people, because I know how you feel. But we're on a podcast and people are listening, so I want you to tell them how you feel too, because like they're here too. And then you'll be like, no, I don't have anything to say. And so it's like, well, why? Like, why don't you have anything to say now, even if you already talked about it?
It's not that I didn't have nothing to say, is that I had to say it correctly. Again, because when we were talking about it earlier, we were talking about it in the basic.
Oh,
Can I rephrase your statement?
Got fixed phone. Wally, got fixed phone, Wally. Come on. So like I was saying, it's not that it's not that I didn't have nothing to say. It's just I had to say it right to where you can understand. Like, again, because when we was talking earlier, we were talking it to where, that's why I was saying earlier too, where we can't just go off the way how y'all go off. Because if we go off the way how y'all go off, that's how you get the mouthy talking, the men who be real mouthy with y'all, and y'all be like, bro, he talking like a female. Like, why he going back and forth with me like this? Like, those are the type of men y'all get when they real mouthy and they real upset. I'm emotional, and because that's what they learn. Versus when with men, we understand, especially when we talking to women, that we cannot do that, because I have to speak in a correct way. Because if I speak to you how I would normally speak, you'll be like, bro, you aggressive right now. And I'm like, no, I'm just expressive. So it's like, it's a difference in communication that I think also women don't understand too, where it's hard. We don't communicate the same way.
Mm-hmm.
We don't communicate the same. It may be words, but the words we use, prime example, the word love. Y'all use the word love way too much. Way too much. Y'all will say, I love this piece of chicken. I love that shirt. I love this drink. I love your hat. I love your hair. I love this. Men don't say that word unless we genuinely mean it. If you ever hear a man say, I love you, or I love this person, or I love y'all, like, they genuinely meant, I love this person.
Mm-hmm.
So off rip, just that as alone example alone, our communication is different. Mm-hmm. We might have the basis of communication. We might be both speaking English, but way how you use it and the way how I use it is two different things. So because you're expecting us to use it on what society has did is that we started using it on the spectrum of women. We want to use emotions on the spectrum of women, of saying we got to express like women, and men can't. We don't know how to, because the moment you do is when you get the flamboyant dudes. Not saying nothing wrong with them, but that's when you get the flamboyant, ready to go back and forth with you, going all he talking to you like as if you was talking to your girlfriend. You'd have been you sit over questioning whether or not who the boyfriend is, he the man or me? Like, I don't know. So it's like, all right, I got to know how to talk to you the way you understand, and I understand that I'm serious, and at the same time I'm not emotional with you, so that way it can articulate. But y'all be wanting us to be emotional, and I'm like, I don't think y'all want us to be emotional.
So then we need to find a common interest. I mean, a common ground. But go ahead, Kayla.
I don't think women, I can't speak for other women, so I'll say this for me. I wouldn't want somebody that I'm dating to respond the same way I respond and being vulnerable. Not that it would be an issue, but like, or like, cause you were saying like men don't respond how women do emotionally or vulnerably, right?
You don't.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
And
respond the same way.
honestly, like, I don't, when women say like they want men that are like, emotionally equipped, I'll say that. I don't think it's in a way to behave like how I'm behaving. Like, especially me, because I already know I'm a mess sometimes. But yeah, like I don't think it's in a sense to like you mimic what I'm showing. It's just like find a way that works for you, that best works for us. So we're like, because if it doesn't work for us, then like you explaining it to me, I'm not gonna understand. So you got to figure out what best suits you, and then when you figure that out, then figure out what best helps me understand how you feel. Not do what I do. I don't want you to do what I do, because what I do
Mm-hmm.
works for me. I want you to figure out what works for you, and then bring it back here so you can explain it to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Just like,
even when we do that, we get told how it's not good enough. So
I
say if
don't
we
know.
say like I'm not saying you, I'm just saying at least I'll speak for me. I'm not gonna speak for all men. I'm gonna speak for me on this situation where I've been in that where I've said, okay, y'all know me, I'm very nonchalant, right? It's very hard to
Yes.
get me to speak on stuff unless I'm very much feeling like speak. I'm gonna speak on it on my time, right?
Uh-huh.
Y'all know that, y'all understand that I'm gonna speak on my time, and when it's my time to talk, I'm gonna talk to y'all. Versus what a lot of times it happens, it be forced. They want us to speak the way, again, they want us to express that, and a lot of times in the way how they express, where it's when I'm not saying as in do the same thing as you, but what I mean by that is when y'all get emotional and feel some type of way, y'all let it be known right there and then. That's what y'all want us to do. We can't. Because and there's a way, it's not necessarily that we can't, it's a way how to do it. As in me personally, if I was doing that, if I feel some type of way, I'm gonna tell you, hey yo, shorty, I ain't gonna lie to you, I feel some type of way about what just happened, but I'd rather talk about it later because I can't, that way we can articulate what we talking about later versus what y'all do and what a lot of women want. A lot, at least like I said, from my perspective, what I've been told from other women is that they want me to do what y'all do, which is I'm upset. I'm gonna let you know I'm upset now, and I'm probably finna burn down the entire building because I'm upset now. And it's like, why? Why would you want me to do that when you want? I'm supposed to be the one that's supposed to keep the level headed to where I can talk and be articulate and everything like that. Because again, once I get that upset, I can the amount of damage you do in the entire building, I can do in that's in a split second.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you want me to be that when it's like, all right, like, again, I agree with the speaking about the situation, speak about it the way it makes sense for you to understand. Sometimes at the same time, remember how I said it earlier, it's sometimes a lot of people who like talking don't understand. It's just to listen, as in I need to listen to you first and see how you react and how you speak and how you
Mm-hmm.
articulate what you got going on. Because a lot, like I said, a lot of times men articulate, at least the men I've been around, we articulate our problems. We just articulate it differently, as in we have levels of articulation. As in, I'm gonna say it in a monotone where I'm saying it, but I'm not mad. Then there's the other tone where, all right, I'm starting to get a little aggravated. All right, now I'm aggravated. Okay, now I'm pissed off. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, we have levels to it. We don't just go from I'm mad as hell, I'm okay to I'm mad as hell, and that's where we be having an issue at. It's like, yo, we got levels. Like, I need you to understand my levels versus trying to understand that I need you to be mad. It's like, I can't be mad. Like, this is not that serious to me. Like, that's why I said the things that y'all think or the way how y'all think and how y'all perceive things, it's not the same way how we perceive things because we've been dealing with a lot of issues since birth.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying you haven't, but we had to grow since a lot of different shit since birth. So it's hard. We get a harder shell than y'all. Versus when somebody mess with y'all, a lot of women around that I've seen, especially around the women in my family, when they get messed around with, people mess with them, they're ready to
We
flip.
get aggressive. Yeah.
So it's like, all right, bro, I don't. And even the way how she spoke, it wasn't that what she was saying wasn't wrong. Like I told y'all, it was just how she spoke. She's aggressive. So why would I?
She talked from a hurt place.
You
Yeah, I
feel
think
me?
she
Like
was.
she was
That's
very
what I wanted to
aggressive.
address. I think that. I think that it's like, okay, all of these people were coming. All of these people were coming. were coming from me, and so now I'm mad about it because they say a lot of therapists should, if you're a good therapist, should have a therapist as well because of all of the stuff you intake. Because nobody's ever done like growing in and all the other. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that yes, she's still human, and yes, she
Mhm.
reacted before like checking her emotions, and so
Yeah.
that was just like real raw emotions that we seen instead of like sitting,
Mhm.
thinking, contemplating a little more, and then addressing. It was just straight on scene. And I
Yep.
think, so I wouldn't say that she doesn't have emotional intelligence. I think that she just didn't choose to use it because
Yeah.
her human senses kicked in first.
So.
Like she just reacted immediately instead of like going back to sit and like register. Like she just felt emotions and like projected. Like that was it. Like
Mhm.
she didn't like sit down. I'm gonna address this properly because this had already gotten me in trouble before. So let me
Mhm.
deal with it a different way. She didn't sit down and think about none of that. She just reacted because she was emotional. And I'm not saying it's okay, but that's also a human trait. And I'm not saying that just because we're human, it's okay. We're fine.
Mhm.
I think
Oh.
that the world doesn't owe you. The world doesn't owe you. Oh, you're dealing with this, so it's okay to act a fool. The world doesn't owe you that. Everybody's dealing with something. Get it together when you deal with other people.
Mhm. Okay, now Z, you can go now. Give him a second. He's processing how to
Um,
say it.
um, it's kind of funny to me how you just said she is not that she don't know emotional intelligence. She just chose not to use it. And my argument reverse back when it comes to men is that men have emotional intelligence. Y'all just want us not to use it. That's what we're trying to get y'all to understand. It's not that we don't have emotional intelligence. No, we do. You just don't want us to use it. Y'all want us to use it in the way how y'all use it, which is the other way around. That's why I said a spectrum of men and women are just completely flipped. Is it the same fucking spectrum? Yes, but it's flipped. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's you want us to express the way how it makes sense to you. But the only way it makes sense to you is if I express it the way how you express it. And it's like, okay, if I express it the way how you express it, I'm probably gonna get in trouble. So it's like again, it's like, all right, you can say, okay, she could have did this and third, everything like that. Oh, she just didn't choose to use her emotional intelligence. No, I think she just chose to speak the way how she wanted to speak. And thought that okay, I'm gonna speak how, like you said earlier, I can speak when I'm at work versus how I speak at when I'm at home shouldn't be the same. And I was telling you earlier, yeah, it is. Especially in a corporate world, it definitely is. Whatever you say at home, especially when you're a brand and you're representing another brand, yeah, they give a fuck what you put online. You can't just say whatever you want online. Nah, you can't just go on here and say whatever you want because you feel like you a human. All right, you a human, that works for us. So now you have to respect what we got in front of you and the requirements that we need for you to be. You have a certain type of platform. She's a therapist, so you have a certain type of platform where you sitting here taking care of people mentally. They trying to get their emotional health out, and here you go flipping the hell out of people.
Mhm.
Here you go going off on TikTok about people and their emotional intelligence, how they ain't got it, and you calling us dusty bitches and motherfuckers and this, that, and third. Like, bro, but you the one I'm supposed to come to. Then she got mad and was like, "Oh well, someone put out my information on on that article with the lady," and I'm like, "Well, you went on this. None of this would have happened if you didn't get on TikTok and put this on TikTok. You could have had your opinion. Here's the issue that's why I was saying a lot of people like talking, though, like people listen. There's another issue of people like expressing their opinion and think because just because they express their opinion, you are entitled to your. I tell y'all this all the time. You're entitled to your own opinion. Absolutely, you're entitled to your right, your own opinion, whatever you want to do. You're not entitled to how people react to your opinion and what they react to what you say or do. You don't have entitlement to that. You don't have
Mhm.
entitlement to the outcome of what happens of what you do. You will
Mhm.
never get that. And the quicker you people learn that, the quicker life will get better. But that's not the issue. She thought she could say what she want with you. What you said earlier, Kayla, I can say what I want and I shouldn't get in trouble for it. Where, like I said,
Oh,
you're not in charge of the outcome. You can't be in charge of how people feel about what you do.
Mhm.
If what I was saying was if I'm out with my homegirls and every other word that I'm saying is bitch, 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 I'm out with my
That's fine.
not
But
gonna I'm not
you're
gonna
not
pick up
gonna
the
pull your
phone and
phone
say
out.
you've reached so and so, bitch, bitch, bitch. I'm not doing that at work. So
But you're
my
not
personal life
gonna,
when I'm hanging out is my business. That's my business. That's
and
my
that's
personal
fine.
life.
That's
That's
fine,
what
but
I was saying.
you know that if you work at a job that you take seriously, you not finna, and you do all your bitches and having fun. You not finna pull your phone out, they go on live and start bitching, smoking weed, this, that, and the third, middle finger up, drink, guns on the table, this, that, and the third, because you know damn well they gonna see you, and what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you can do what you want. There's also having intelligence of business intelligence. Y'all want emotional intelligence. A lot of men have business intelligence too, where we understand my status and my name and who I am as a person matter. So I can't just flip, because if I flip, that goes bad on my report card or my credit as a man, the
Yeah.
credit as a person. But y'all, that's the part that men want y'all to understand on that side of it. It's like you gotta understand you have a credit on your name as a person. And when you walk around, not just credit on the credit card, no, you as a person too. And when people have bad things about you on your credit report, about you as a
It
person,
really does affect you.
it's hard to get that off your credit report. That's one of them things that's gonna stay. It's always gonna be somebody who gonna remind somebody about your ignorance. And then what? You gonna be, oh well, it's not fair to judge me. Well, I'm judging you by your report card. How you gonna tell me not to judge you by what you did?
Your credit history.
So it's like, come on, man! Like, you gotta make sense of the situation. It gotta be, like I said, does emotional intelligence need to happen? Yes, I agree. A man need to have emotional intelligence, but in order for me to have emotional intelligence, for you to understand, you gotta be able to have the intelligence to listen to me and understand. Because what it sounds like from what, like I said, from my personal opinion, from when I have a conversation with a lot of men and having conversations with women, is that it's not that y'all want us to have emotional intelligence in the way that we do. You want us to have emotional intelligence in the way that y'all do, and we can't do it how y'all do. We never learned it that way, and now that y'all trying to teach us to do it this way, now y'all have problems, because now all of a sudden, like again, it's a lot. Now they turn flamboyant. They start doing all their little willy-nilly, doing whatever they want to do, this, that, and the third, and now they start going back and forth with y'all. Now y'all wonder why these men ready to go back and forth. They cussing y'all out just as much as you cussing them out now, because they doing what y'all want them to do. They expressing the same way how you express.
And that's another thing. We have to be aware of the balance and duality of each other. Just because we may not understand does not mean we need to convert them into what we are, or convert them in the way that we think and how we act. We have to understand and seek understanding of how they act and how they perceive information and how they perceive life and what their values are. In a sense of, if I do this, if I act like this, he's not going to feel safe with me to talk to me and communicate. So therefore, I need to act a different way. I need to figure out what kind of tone is more appreciative and how I can make him feel comfortable. It's not, you can do whatever you want. However, there are consequences with your actions, good and bad. Like Z have said prior to our podcast, which you should definitely watch, by the way. You should definitely watch DieTyeRadio at YouTube and TikTok. We do have TikTok, and we have Twitch, and we have an Instagram. But yes, as I was saying, he has said this earlier in prior videos, where we have good and bad consequences. The good consequence of you freaking talking in a soft, very gentle tone is that they will feel like you're safe enough. They will try to gravitate to you a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more often than you would like, but again, this is one of the consequences. And the bad consequence is that, like I've already said, if you talk in a very harsh and aggressive and masculine tone, they're going to come back at you because people are defensive. And that's the thing. People are defensive in this day and age, and we're trying to unlearn the defensive nature that we have.
I think that, how can I say this? I think that ultimately it's just about being self-aware, working, and having grace, because nobody's going to be gentle every day.
Mhm.
Nobody's gonna be understanding every day.
Mhm.
Humans don't have that capacity to do that every single day and mean it genuinely. So I think it's just
Mhm.
allowing grace. Like, oh yeah, I may have messed up X, Y, and Z many times. I'm not perfect. We're all growing. We're all actively growing. But you
Mhm.
can't give me what I want from you every day. Can you? Like, can you? You're still actively growing and being emotional and speaking and telling me how you feel and all of that, right? So you cannot expect me to come into this brand new establishment, little dynamic that we have working on, and know how to do it from start to finish the right way. No, everybody should just be allowing grace. You may flip out, and I'm not saying your flip out was okay, but if you do flip out, I can give you grace because you flipped out today and you've actively been working. You might come in one day and I've already had a bad day and I don't have the capacity, so I might blow up on you. I'm not saying it's right that I blew up on you, but give me grace because I'm human too. So just allow grace. Like, nobody's perfect. And we're all trying to figure it out. We're all still human. So if you find somebody and they're actively trying, give them grace for it.
Okay. So I agree with that. I'm trying to
I
be.
was wondering why she got her head up, just looking. I'm like, what the?
I don't, I don't know. That's I don't know.
I'm trying to do better, okay, with listening, okay? I do interrupt a lot of people, so I'm trying to unlearn that and try to not interrupt so much. So, anyway, like I wanted to say, what I wanted to say was I definitely agree with the grace thing. However, only give grace to people who are actively trying to change. So, for instance, if if the person who just blew up on you then said, "Hey, look, I'm having a rough day. I apologize. I just couldn't get myself together when I got in the house." Then you can give grace, give forgiveness, because at that moment they acknowledge what they did, and that's the problem here. She didn't acknowledge that her tone and the way she went about it in the first video caused problems, and now she's coming from a place of hurt. So give grace when it is well deserved, when the person acknowledges that they messed up. And that's the thing, like we stated prior, you have to be aware of what you are doing and what you feel and how you are acting. You have to be, like I said, aware. Anything you want to say, Z?
That's all right. It's just being, but you got to be aware of everything. So it's like it's hard to be. It's just people got to understand. Also, other than being aware, it's just being. Mm, I'd probably say like just being open to speaking, like as in letting people, like y'all said, giving that environment where you allow people to speak and have those conversations, and it's like, but understanding they're not gonna do it like you. You're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna. You're not meant to do it like you. If you had another version of you, you wouldn't like. And I be
Oh,
telling
most
people, like
definitely.
sometimes
I
I be
say that
telling
all the
people
time. That's
sometimes
why
all that time, like if
I.
you was to talk to you, I be having to remind myself that sometimes, like, okay, imagine the way how you talk to this person, imagine that person, imagine you was talking to you like that. Would you take that? I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have took that. All right, let me go ahead and holler at this person, let them know I was wrong. Like, and don't get me wrong, there'll be moments where we flash out and do that, and I flash out, and I'm just like, all right, I'm mad right now, and I've got a lot going on, so I'm mad, and then I have to remember, like, okay, I'm mad at this. I'm not mad at you. So let you know, like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm really mad at this, not at you. I apologize. Like, I'm just not in a good space to speak right now, and I just need you to read the room right now. But sometimes it just don't be that. Where in our opinion, I'm just being my opinion. A lot of times, especially in this generation now, women or in relationships, everybody is selfish. So it's like it gets to a point where people don't care. Like I said, I'm here. Only reason why I'm in this relationship is because you like me. Most of the time. Most of the time people are only in a relationship with somebody is because you like me. Versus me liking you. Or me caring about you. Maybe down the road I might start to care about you. But the only reason why we even talking is because I like you like me. And I like the fact that you like me. So cool. Let's have a conversation. And it's like, all right, well, now that you go through this whole time of being with this person, you start to realize, especially as men, after a while, whether or not that this person really cares for you or just cares for somebody being here. I have said that to several different girls before having a discussion about talking and wanting to date, and this at the third. And I'm like, yo, fam, you don't care to date me. You just want a boyfriend. You just want somebody to be here for you the way you can vent this, that, and the third. But if you really gave a crap about me, you would actually listen to what I'm actually saying to you and how I'm saying it in my language, my love language, how I talk, this, that, and the third. But majority of the time, it's just I want a boyfriend or I want somebody to be here so we understand why am I expressing myself to somebody who's just letting me know that the first chance she get to find somebody better than me, she gonna clear it. She gonna clear it, and it's been said several times, over and over again. When you hear it over and over again, I ain't got no problem. If this, you'll see it all the time. A girl will be you'll see it on videos where a rapper will be at a concert. They'll see their favorite rapper. She'll be there at the concert with her boyfriend. It will literally. It was one girl. I remember one girl at I forgot what rapper thing she was at, but she was literally on her phone, on Snapchat. Come fuck me. Come this, that, and the third. I want to be with you. I'll leave my boyfriend right now. The boyfriend is literally right behind her. And she's doing this. And it's like, bro, like, and we see it and we just like, bro, what are we supposed to do in this situation? Like, how am I supposed to feel? How am I supposed to go? Like, it made people feel some type of way. So it's hard for people to like, at least for men, where we just be like, bro, it's hard to open up when I don't know if I'm opening up to somebody who cares for me versus someone opening up to someone who's going to use it against me later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, give me that space. That's all we ask for. Just give us that space and give us that let us know, like I said, that you here for us. Like as in, I'm caring about you versus caring about you speaking so I can feel better. Because a lot of times we want you to speak so that way I can feel some type of way. And a lot of times when we do speak, y'all turn it back to y'all. I've had several conversations with it, even just y'all, where I'm talking about something I'm dealing with, and y'all will refer it back to what y'all got going on. And I'm like, well, okay, fuck what I just said, right? Fuck me dealing with what I'm dealing with. All right, it's just right back to what you got going. Okay. And then to a point where, again, we stop talking. So it's like, it's hard to speak on it. But go ahead, Mocha.
I typically do that to be relatable and to have something to say, because in my experience, I would just listen to people when I was a kid. So every time when I didn't say anything, I would be like, "Are you listening to me?" And I would be chewed out for not saying anything or showing that I'm listening and like giving cues that I'm paying attention, because at the time I didn't like keeping eye contact. It just made me uncomfortable. But anyway, I typically do
You
that.
saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you saying being as in being okay, I'm relating to you is not the problem. As in, if you're saying, okay, oh well, I know how you feel because I remember this, that, and the third. When this, that, and the third happened, I felt like this too. That's relating. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones where they say, okay, oh yeah, you dealing with this. Boy, you don't even know because let me tell you about what I'm dealing with right now, because you don't even understand. You couldn't even understand the grasp or understand what you're dealing with right now. Because let me tell you about me and what I'm going with. Yeah, this and you just got 5. All he did was speak for 5 minutes. And you had an hour-long conversation. He only spoke for 15 minutes. And all 15 minutes, only 5 minutes, he actually got a chance to vent and express. The other 10 minutes, he just said, yeah, damn, for real? Okay. For real? Damn, I'm sorry. Shit. Because you know why? Because she just turned this to her. So now all of a sudden, he's just like, damn, I just called you to vent on me, and I can't even vent to you. Because you're going to make this about you. Mm-hmm. Hey, I got this problem going on. Well, why are you dealing with that? You need to be worried about what's going on with me and our relationship. I just told you.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Sorry.
You good? Go ahead. You good? I'm done.
So, I would definitely agree. A lot of people are selfish these days, and I will say this: I am very selfish, and it took me a while to realize how selfish I was, and I'm most likely going to continue being selfish for a little bit longer until I actively get to 25. Because I've done a lot of selfless things when I didn't have to at a young age. But besides that, I acknowledge that a lot of people are selfish, and a lot of people, whether they have good reasons or bad, you have to acknowledge that if you're in a relationship for the wrong reasons, and the reason is because this person likes me, you should not be in that relationship. You realistically need to acknowledge the fact that you are basically leaning on this person to take care of yourself and take up the responsibility of loving yourself and valuing yourself. Jesus fucking Christ, I could not say that for shit. But and you're afraid of taking that step of working to self-love.
Very true. I want to show y'all this before we leave. 'Cause I know we got like 5 minutes. I want to show y'all the article where basically it's saying it to you about what's going on. Give me 1 second. I'm finna show y'all the article of what she was talking about. Right, so that way people can see. Cause I feel like that's another thing that people don't see the article, and I think people need to see the article first, so that way they can understand what the article said. That's why I said what she said. Did it say something about emotional communication? Yes, but how she said it and what it was saying, nah, I didn't say it like that. That's why I'm like, all right, bro. Like she just took it and just ran with it, and that's why I said, okay, she just went overboard to the point where it just ruined her. She ruined it herself.
Yeah, because she was emotional. She was so emotional that her message couldn't be relayed properly because of her own emotions. Yeah, that's the sucky part of it.
Can you see it?
No, but it's probably because I'm on my phone and not my laptop. So.
Oh Lord.
I can't read it, but I can see it.
Okay, I'll read it to you. But this is the Psychology Today, right? It's called the article was from August 9th, 2022. It was called the rise of lonely single men. Men need to address their defects to meet healthier relationship expectations. So basically the key points is dating opportunities for heterosexual men are diminishing as relationship standards rise. Men represent approximately 62% of dating app users, lowering their chances for matches. Men need to address skill defects into meeting healthier relationship expectations. This is true. This right here, the 62% of dating apps is why we're trying to tell our dudes get the F off of dating apps because you're tripping. Too many dudes on them. That's why girls have no problem not speaking. Because it's like 30 million dudes trying to get with one girl. But I'm gonna go to the points. So I feel like going through the whole thing. So obviously these are the points that they're saying. Here are 3 broad trends in the relationship landscape that suggest heterosexual men are in a rough road ahead. Dating apps, when you're just starting to date, or you're recently divorced and dating again. Dating apps are a huge driver of new romantic connections in the United States. The only problem is that it's upwards of 62% of users are men, and many women are overwhelmed by the numerous of options they have. Competition, online dating is fierce, and lucky in-person chance encounters with dreamy partners are rarer than ever. So, dating apps and social media definitely help in ruining a lot of dating. And I've heard this, I've said this before too, where girls have a lot more options now because you can live, prime example, you in Detroit, you can have a dude in Las Vegas trying to date you right now and willing to fly you out to Vegas, and you'll go mess with him before you'll mess with, not saying you, because obviously you have a boyfriend, but a girl in your position who had a bunch of dudes in Detroit trying to mess with her, she's just gonna go to the Vegas guy because the Vegas guy is willing to pay her to go to Vegas, and that's something she can do. Versus, and a lot of men are trying to. You see a lot of men on these dating apps, so they're trying hard to get with this one girl. Where why would I mess with you when I got a bunch of other dudes who not in Detroit willing to fly me out, willing to go do this and the third. So it's like it makes men. It's hard for men to date. Then you got number 2, relationship standards. With so many options, it's not surprising that women are increasingly selective. I do a lot of TikTok, speak with hundreds of audience members every week. I hear recurring dating themes from women between ages 25 and 45 that prefer men who are emotionally available, who are good communicators, and who share their values. So This part right here, I don't necessarily understand what they say about who share their values. What do you mean as in if he's sharing his values,
No,
as in what he
like
got?
we share our values. You know how people be like, oh, I want like somebody who believes in like the same religion as me. Like basically, you got like similar core values. That way, like y'all don't have issues later on. Like if
But
we
that's
both
in
believe.
dating. I about to say that's in dating in general though, where you figure out each other value. You should figure that out when you first start talking and dating.
Yes, you should, but that's really important. Like I don't feel like I don't know how people date, so I can't even tell you what I feel like.
No,
But
I agree with that. I feel like people should. You should. That's why I say when you first start talking and talking about dating, y'all should be asking that question. What's your religion? What's the type of person you want to be? What are you looking for in your life?
come
But
on, let's be honest, see. Let's be honest.
what do you
Like
mean?
how
I asked
often
that
does that?
question. I asked those questions.
How soon though?
As in the first date.
No.
Yes, I ask about what you got going. Yeah, I need to know.
Yeah,
As in,
like
if
what
I'm
you got going
serious,
on, like
I'm
what you're.
letting you know I'm serious. As in, not even necessarily as in, yeah. The first day I would ask about what's your religion, and all that. I'm getting to know you. I want
Yeah.
to know you, who you are, and your values are first before I say, okay, is this somebody? Because before we start dating, I have to make you my friend and someone that I consider to be I
Right.
want to be around and that I respect to want to be around.
As
That's why I
long
said, okay, what do you mean by share their values? As in, are we sharing each other's core values, or you want me to share your values?
no, I think it's just we have to come to an agreement and our values have to align some way. Like you ain't gotta go to church every day or twice a week, but you do believe in God, right? Like, okay, cool. Like, okay, so
But
you
see,
do
here's
know.
my thing though. When I read this, like I said, they prefer men who are emotionally available, who are good communicators and share their values. That just sounds like to me you want me to be a good communicator in your way.
No, I don't feel like that's what it says. I mean, I think that means like because when you date, like it's everything, compiled. So I think everything has to compile. And in order,
Mhm.
the best way that it will work is if, you compile with somebody similar to like what works best for like you and them. That way, like,
But we not gonna all. We're never gonna do the same thing the same.
no, we don't have to
Um,
do the same. It's just like, our core values and stuff. Like,
But that's what I was saying earlier. Where I'm like, okay, you just need to understand. You gotta understand me first to understand how we. Because again, the way how we communicate are different. That's why I said when I hear this, this is telling me I want you to communicate in the way that I communicate, so that way
no,
I can
like as long as
understand
it's
you.
effective and as long as it's healthy, then communicate. Like nobody.
But
That's what
again,
I'm
what do you
thinking.
mean by healthy? What do you mean by saying healthy? Like,
When
because
I say healthy,
when
I
you
just
say healthy, go ahead.
when I say healthy, I just mean like effective two-way communication. Like, okay, so what I do in my relationship, well, something that my mate does in our relationship that I found very useful. We'll be talking and he'll be like, "You understand, right?" And I'll either say, "Yeah, I get it," or like, "No, explain to me." And that's just like, and he'll say it. At first, I used to think it was annoying, like, "Oh my god, yeah, I get it." But he'll say, like, he says it often. Like, if he's making new points, he'll go back and be like, "You get it, right?" Just to make sure that like I'm understanding what he's saying for him and not for my own like assumptions. Like, do I understand him or am I just like understanding it to like for myself? And so yeah, like that. Like you just like when I say effective or healthy communication, there's understanding. Like we're not missing it. Like we're meeting up and we can walk on this bridge now instead of like being here or being turned because like nobody really understood. We just talked.
Agreed. Okay, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
And then let's go to this last point, and then I think we're just gonna get out of here. But okay, so the third one was skilled. Oh my god, I can't speak right now. I can't speak right now. Say the word for me.
I can't see it.
Skilled I can't even say it. Fuck
Deficits.
it. That's how you know I'm ready to go, man. For men, this means a relationship skill gap that, if not addressed, will likely lead to fewer dating opportunities and longer periods of being single. There's less patience for poor communication skills today. The problem for men is that emotional connection is the lifeblood of healthy long-term love, and it requires all the skills that families still are not consistently teaching young boys. This is what I was telling you earlier.
Yeah.
Is that men they never learn you with the way how y'all communicate. We did not learn that.
I think it's
We
because
learned it
of
the
imbalance
other
in
way.
family.
Huh?
I think because there's an imbalance in families. Like I think that if more men, like, cause I at first I was like, oh, if more men were just around. But if it's not a good example, then I'm not gonna say there's no reason for that man to be around. But if you're not setting a good
It's not the
example,
man. That's what we're trying to tell you. It's
no,
not
but
the
here's the thing, because okay, well, I'll speak from my experience, because a lot of men that I know didn't have fathers around for numerous of reasons. And
yeah.
so it's just like, I think I always was like, well, maybe I just needed more male presence. And then I was like being told a story, and I was like, that wasn't like really good. So I don't think it's about the number of men. I think it's just like men that can communicate in a healthy, effective way for themselves. Like if more younger boys could see that, younger boys can figure out how to like get there, because they can effectively talk to those men. Like, and so that's what I mean when I say like an imbalance in families. Like a lot of, like, if the men are there, I'm not saying that they can't do it, but usually they can't. And then most of the time it's not even because they can't do it, it's because men aren't there. Like a lot of men get taken away from their families, whether that is jail or death or whatever else that is often at field. And so I think that, like, if a woman was saying it, sometimes I do think that at some point in like a young boy's life, a woman can only do so much. So I think that it is very important to have a really stable man come in and just like mentor him until he's able to like find his way. So that's what I mean by imbalance. And then you have the flip side of that, where moms or women in the family put those traditional standards on young boys, and I don't think that's fair at all. Like at 8 years old, you shouldn't be told that you're the man in the house. Fuck does that even mean? You're supposed to be like shooting little guns and like actively figuring out ways to be like independent around the house. And what I mean by that is like, you can be able to like make a little sandwich so you can eat, or take the trash out, figuring out little life things that you'll have to do later on that'll be beneficial when you get older. So I think that ultimately the traditional weight that is passed on for young boys is way too heavy. Like I feel like men are always told what not to do, and nobody's telling men what to do. And so men just like, well, I know I'm not supposed to do this, and I know I'm not supposed to do that. And it's just like, okay, so now that I got all of that out the way, what the hell am I supposed to do now? And a lot of men don't know. And then ultimately, like, they don't know what the fuck to do. Like, just because you tell me not to do something don't mean you told. It's just about confusion. And then, life weighs them down, and men feel things because they're human, and then they just bottle it all up until they either explode or implode. And that's the life cycle of it.
I mean, yeah, you kind of hit it on the dot. Like I said, you don't have a father figure in your household that can speak to you. And I think like I told you earlier, you learn from your mom. So when you're doing the same thing your mom's doing, you start moving feminine. So now you move emotionally like a female, where I'm cussing at you like a female, I'm arguing with you, I'm going back and forth with you, this and the third, when it really I should be talking to you like a man, but I've never had that in front of me. Not saying me, I'm saying it, as in the men that we're talking about in these situations. So a lot of these men never had that in front of them. So when you don't, or if they do, they did have a man in front of them, they had the man who was already hurt from his previous parent and his previous life. So he's already a hard shell. And I feel like, especially when it comes, prime example, red pill, right? Like people be like, oh, red pill movement. I don't think people don't understand that red pill movement are people who have regiment, right? And I'm saying, which we're going to have that discussion next week with me and Love and all that. We're going to talk about it. But I'm going to put y'all on too, because we came up with something. But, like, as in, they come with a regiment. They come with a schedule. So you got to think of them like military people, or red pill people, or red pill movement type people, police officer people, CEOs, people who have regiments and have to continue doing the same thing over and over and over again, because that's how they got where they got. So it's hard for them to not go off their schedule and change something, or be spontaneous on situations where they need to be in schedule. So if versus with men, a lot of men, that's what they're taught at a young age, where you got to be always moving, always on the go, always trying to make it, because the moment you stop to sit here and express your feelings, there's somebody else passing you right along.
I think that's why it's important to define what success is to you as a person long before like you allow somebody else to define it, because there's we live in a world of like 8 million plus people. So I'm not saying because there's always going to be somebody in front of you that you shouldn't sleep, or, you should always have your mind focused. But understanding that there's 8 million people, somebody's always going to be ahead, just like somebody's always going to be below. So don't rush yourself. Like, take your time. I know it's probably different for men. I know. But take time and do what's best for you in the situation that you're in. And self-care is important. Like, it's no reason that going to get money isn't as important as your well-being as a person. Like, your
I
temple
agree.
is just as
I
important.
agree.
So you have to treat it as such.
I agree. I feel like if you need a day off for your own day, the way you can be that, you can be that. Here's the issue that you got to understand for men is that, not saying that you shouldn't do it, but there's moments where even if you take that day off, people still looking to you to be on your obligations and take care of what you need to take care of. So I
Then I
can't,
think
even if I, that's just how the world is with the
I think that's a
situation.
dynamic you have to set in your household. Like,
Even
like I
it's
was
not
saying,
just the household though. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not only just the household. It's the people around you. As in, you might have family members outside of your household that need you. You might
okay, well,
have
that's
friends who got that.
dynamic.
You might
So it's
have
just like,
cousins.
hey, I'm turning my phone off today. I don't care what, no, like, that's where, like, it's not even in a selfish way, because I say all the time, like, self-love isn't selfish. So if I have to choose me in order to be able to help you, then hold on for a second. Let me get me together. If I'm the breadwinner, I can't make money if my mind is everywhere. That does not work for me. So let me get me together so that I can take care of you. So let me turn my phone off for a day. Let me go on a little 2-day trip or something to get myself together. That way I can come back and be the best that I can for our family dynamic.
I mean
That's
that worked,
hard.
but every time, at least for me, when every time I turned my phone off for a day, the next day everything was in chaos, and I had to fix everything. So it was like,
Everybody has to be able to carry their own weight. Or, like, how they say it takes a village to raise a kid. That's because each person in that village can do something that's beneficial for that child. So the same way the same way a family dynamic should be. Everybody should be able to do something to where, like, if I was to go away or if I was to die, it can still function without me. I shouldn't be the only reason that this thing functions. If I am the whole reason this thing functions, then I don't want this thing, because this thing is weighing me down and I'm carrying it all. We're a team. So we're a body. So if you're the eyes and I'm the arms, we need each other. We can make this happen as a team. Like, there's no reason that one person should have to be the whole body 24/7. That's insane. But that's just how I feel. So I'll
you're
say
not
that.
saying being the whole body. Yeah, you're right with the whole. We should be able to split bodies and do everything like that. You gotta also understand that we might be a team, right? But we don't. Just because we a team doesn't mean we do the same thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, the eyes can never do what the arms do.
Yeah, it's like, you feel me. So you can't, like, if you play quarterback, I play running back. We not doing the same position.
Oh,
Somebody got to be able to do one position while the other person does the other. So it's
yeah.
like and it doesn't make you. And I feel like that's another issue that I feel like women, when it comes to especially talking about money, when y'all love bringing that up. That's why I always tell you, when you bring up the whole, oh, I make my own money, this and the third. I'm like, oh, I can take care of myself thing. I'm like, well, you supposed to. Like,
Yeah,
that's not.
everybody
You
should.
feel me? Like, you suppose that's not an accolade. And it's like,
Yeah, I don't say that as an
but
accolade. I feel like you take
not
it.
saying that you do, but well, not I can't say that you do or you don't, but I'm gonna just speak for me personally. Where every time a female has said that to me, it was using that as an accolade, as in, oh, well, you should respect the fact that I can take care of myself. And I'm like, you're supposed to, but it's like, all right, even in that situation of doing that, like, and I've said this to you before, where it kind of like, it make men feel some like a different way about it, because it's like, all right, bro, if I'm supposed to help you do this and the third, if, like I said, we on the same team, we're not supposed to do the same thing. If I'm saying supposed to be doing this, you doing that, it doesn't make you any less than me. It just means your position of what you do is this. That doesn't mean, I feel like at the same time, people want to be, like I told y'all before, that anime syndrome, the movie syndrome, where everybody wants to be the main character at all times. So it's like, once you're not the main character, it's kind of like, well, what the fuck? Like, how am I not the main character in the story? And it's like, well, bro, sometimes you not. Like, sometimes you just have to be the background, and people don't want to like be background. So like, to my son,
Yeah, I was about to say, I just read
yeah,
it.
I've been trying to put her in this whole time. She ain't came back in yet. So,
But
yeah,
yeah, I think that ultimately because I've had like the whole submission conversation, and I definitely think that submission only works. First of all, like you got to be treated a certain way to even want to submit, and I think that
Submission go both ways. Let me
yeah,
tell you
submission
that
definitely.
submission goes both ways.
Here's I want everybody to understand. Well, everybody don't gotta understand it, but this is my point of view. I think that relationships and marriages, or any time where two people come together and like unite or whatever, I think that a lot of people don't understand that it's a partnership. So if every day if I pack your lunch for work and I cook your meals for you, like every time you come home, your food is cooked for you. When I get home from work, I never get that same treatment because if I'm always doing it, then who's doing it for me? And so it's just like, I think that
But you
everybody,
realize that don't make sense, right?
yeah,
As
that's
in,
my point.
there's no way you gonna be able to go to work. There's no way that I'm at work and you at work and you still make it. And I got lunches and stuff like that. If you're saying the scenario that you just gave don't make no sense. As in, you saying that you make your every day making my lunches, making
Right.
dinner for me when I get home, this and the third. But yet you're saying you also are going to work and this and the third. Who's that doing that for you? And it's like, well,
Okay,
no.
let me
If you're doing all that, right? Like, say if you're making my lunches and this and the third. Not saying it don't happen, because there's definitely been times where it happened, like I said, where you might be making lunch for the man and then you got to go to work too. But most of the time, y'all come back home at the same time. Only time that usually happens where you have to make lunch and dinner for this man is if he's literally working like 12 plus hours every day.
Okay, but if we're
And
coming,
usually you don't have to work if he's working 12 plus hours every day.
I don't know. I can't speak on that. In my case, I didn't have to. But that's also really tiring to watch somebody like beat themselves up like that. So, anyways, but I'm saying like, if we do come home at the same time, then in that situation, we just cook. We just take turns cooking. So that way, like
Yeah, that's fine.
somebody gets a break, and that
Yeah.
has to be like
Oh, I know you're saying
duality
that.
and partnership. Like, and I don't think it's a lot of that. I think a lot of people just want like princess treatment or treatment, and like ultimately, like, and I talk about grace a lot because ultimately, like, if I started doing this early, I might get tired and I can't keep up with it. Give me grace because shit could have just go differently. So it's just like I think if more people understood that it was a partnership instead of like a one-way service street, then
Mm-hmm.
things would work out a little more. Like treat how you want to be treated, how I want to be treated, and and so we'll always have balance. That's unrealistic. So grace period. But for the most part, it's just a partnership. Like if I'm making you and you can't cook, I'm not saying every time you got to buy out, but shit, I'll be okay with like a grilled cheese, or I can teach you how to cook something so that like I still feel like I can have meals for like I always have to
Yeah, that's fine. That's a
yeah,
partnership though, and that's
yeah.
where we both put in where we can do something. I don't see no man. All these the men that be telling y'all how they want to cook meal and this and the third. Those are men who demand it, and I think that's why I think a lot of women don't understand that too. Those are men who can demand it. That's why I said there's a pill situation that, like I said, me and Love spoke or Combat Pretty had spoke on the phone one time that we're gonna talk about next week. That's gonna be our topic next week about the pill spectrum, the red pill, the blue pill. There's 3 other pills in the middle of it that we created for y'all so you can understand the difference. Because I feel like a lot of people are arguing about the wrong people. As in red pill type people can demand that versus the people who y'all are listening to and hearing
Well,
the people, hold on, the people who you are listening to and hearing trying to demand that are not people who already have that type of demand. As in, he's trying to be that guy, but he's not that guy. So what does he do? He'll sit here and complain to you about you not letting him be that guy. Versus the man who's already that type of man, it's already known by the first time you speak to him and have a conversation, he's gonna let you know this is the type of that I need, this is the type of man I am, and this is what I need from you in order for this relationship to work.
But
I'm
but
willing to do this for you and this and this and this for you if you're willing to do this, this, and this for me. In a blank period. Versus the man who, like I said, the man who we talking about who be trying to play that game with you, he's not gonna say that to you. He's expecting you to be that as him because he's thinking as in I'm the man. You should this, that, and the third. I want you to do this, that. And he's gonna rant. Those are the men who y'all be mad about. The ones who just randomly start trying to be something that he wasn't at the first place. Like at first, it was all nice and all cool, and then out of nowhere, he I don't know. I demand you to make me a sandwich, and I want you to make me, and you just like, bro, you weren't like this. Those are the men who I'm talking about because he didn't exert that type of understanding of that's the type of person he was from the beginning. He faked you out.
But nobody wants demandments. Like nobody wants like
You're not.
if
I'm
somebody
not saying demanding as in he's demanding you to do something. I'm saying he demands it as in he demands it from the type of man he is.
and I
As in I
understand,
created that as
but if
myself.
that's like and I understand that like you work hard for something, you feel like you deserve something. I guess. But like I think that in order to be like so for me personally, if I'm gonna submit, that has to be a choice. And if I felt like I had to submit because that was something that my partner wanted, that would make me not want to submit. Like I want to be able to do something because it feels free, or like I want to have free control over that. And so it's like to come into something and to just
You
be like,
do have,
based on
but
your
you,
no, like
Of
based
course
on
you.
like the
Yeah.
lifestyle that person lives and like
but that,
oh,
and that's the
it's to
bad
be
thinking of it, though,
expected.
Kayla.
Like no, like I want to be able
That's
to.
horrible thinking of it, Kayla. You already had free will and free choice to do it. You just chose to do it. They
No,
didn't
no,
take your free.
like
They didn't take your free away from you from doing it. You still did. You just made the choice of doing it. That's what I'm saying. It's not that they're telling you I'm demanding. When you're thinking of demanding as he's making you do it. No, he's demanding as in this is the type. Again, this is the type of man that I am. This is what I require from the type of woman who wants to be with me. You make the choice of whether or not that's the type of woman you want to be or not.
that's
And
not
then if
Okay.
that's the one you want to be, then you put yourself in that position and you do it. If you don't have to. That's why I said there's a spectrum of it where you have to understand the type of what he's asking for. And if that's not something you can do, you don't have to do it. He's not gonna cuss you out and be like, "Oh, you ain't shit." This and the third. He's gonna be like, "Okay, I understand. I'm not gonna bother you on that." But what happens is that a lot of times or not saying a lot of times, I don't consider myself red pill. I'm purple pill, which again, we're gonna have that conversation next week when I tell y'all about the pills and explain it to y'all. Okay. But if those the type of stuff that people command or what they not necessarily command, but the type of stuff that they feel like they deserve from the type of person they want, that's what they feel like they deserve because they earned it. As if I earned that type of respect, then I deserve it. As in, if I put the work in for myself to earn that respect, then yeah, I deserve that respect. If you feel like you can't give that to me, you don't have to. But you don't have to sit here in my face and disrespect me too by saying, "Oh, well, I'm gonna do it when I feel like it."
that's
But
not
understand, but
how
that's what you. But that's how it feels. That's how it portrays to us when you say that. I'm gonna do it when I feel free to do it. Where it's like, okay, again, it's not moments where I can sit here like, well, you know what? Today I don't feel like being a man. I'm not gonna pay your bills today, or I'm not
no,
gonna
no,
pay
no.
the
I
bill
don't
for
like
the
how you said
bread.
either. Like because you insinuated that men have this role. Anyway, that's neither here or there because
What
that's different.
role? What are you talking about? Insinuate what role?
Like the role of men having to pay bills and like
I
take
didn't say that. I'm saying, but let's
no, but
again,
you
I
have to
said
understand
I'm
now
not
because now
speaking.
we're talking about perception. And so when you said that, I took it as I'll say that I took it as like, oh, like it's just like the gender role stuff. And I know how much you don't want like I know we live in a female male world. It's not that I don't understand that, but I don't like having I know like it happens and I know like everybody pay bills and all that stuff. But I don't like always having roles. Like people are it's different sometimes.
I
So like
didn't
I
say, I'm
always
not saying that, but let's be real. Like, let's be realistic though. Majority of the of households are what men are majority paying the majority of what's going
hold
on.
on, but you just said that women that's neither here nor there because I don't know the numbers, so I'm not gonna debate numbers when I don't know the
Mhm.
numbers. But what I will say is in the little what I can see in my group of people, we 50-50 it a lot because it's easier for everybody that way. Like I'm not gonna
That's in the age group we in. The age group we in, we want a 50-50 now. But older than us, hell no, they not playing that game. Unless you only people who can play 50-50 are people who are average people. As in we only make 50, 40, 70K a year. So we have to go 50-50 versus
yeah,
the
but
men.
you were
I'm
like
talking about the men though, the red pill men that you talking about. That's why I said you gotta get yourself out of that bubble and look at who we're talking about. The reality of
yeah,
who we're talking about.
yeah. Okay, so I was just asking
Those men,
I think you
those men,
misunderstood me. I think you misunderstood me because I definitely feel like the men, like the people that want traditional wives. they should just go and get those traditional wives. Like normal people, or the women that the modern women are for modern men. Traditional women and traditional men match better. Like if you
Yeah,
are traditional man,
modern women are meant for blue pill
yeah,
men. I agree. For
yeah.
blue pill men.
So I wasn't saying that at all. Like if I
But
okay,
the issue that I have with women and with women who are modern women is that y'all go to red pill men and expect them to change their red pillness for you when they're not. Their red pillness is what got them to being a CEO, being where they at, this, that, and the third, for them to be where they at. So they're not gonna change that for you because you don't like it. No, they're just
I
gonna
am
tell you,
so
bro,
glad
go
you said
away.
that.
So
So
then,
glad.
Go away. Like, just go do what you do. Like, we're not
and
gonna stop.
I
They're not
definitely
gonna stop you from doing. That's why I said I'm purple where I go half and
Oh,
half.
Mocha, your makeup's so cute. Like I really got like.
Oh, now you notice, but let's pay attention. We're
I can
having
see.
I appreciate that, but we're going to have this discussion because it's very important. We need to stop expecting people to change. And women, we do this like a lot, and men do this a lot. You talked about this. You did talk about wrong place. You definitely did. You definitely did talk about this with who was it again? Where they stayed in a relationship and expected them to just conform to what that person wanted. Maybe not conform is the best word, but who was that?
He was Lori Harvey. Was you talking about Lori Harvey?
Oh well, yeah, Michael B. Jordan. Well, I say that about a lot of people where they get into a relationship with someone and they expect them that because I'm with this person, I'm gonna make them change into what I want them to believe into doing, and don't realize that a lot of times they tell you dead up front when you first start dating. That's why I said tell everything up front, ask those questions up front, because they'll tell you up front what they really about and whether or not they gonna do it or not. So yeah,
That's what I
that's
was
what I
telling you
said.
about, like CEO women. Not necessarily like not. Remember we were having this conversation. I was like, it's not the money that they care about. It's like their attitudes. So you're like the same. You're like when you were talking about the man, and you were like, yeah, well, you know, like that's how he is. That's how he got there. Same with that woman. So like if that's not something you can handle, then you should leave because that's not something you should handle. Same way with the men. If that's not something you can handle, it might be a lot. You don't want to be traditional, cool. It's a lot.
But here's
You
the
have to
issue.
work best for. You have to choose what's best for you. And if that's not what's best for you,
Here's the difference though. When most men, well, at least to most men, I'm not gonna say all men, most men, when most men get into that situation where we say, okay, if you don't want to deal with the situation, you can leave. When that girl leaves, we don't speak on that girl and say, oh, women ain't this, that, the third. Versus those CEO women, when those men walk out, got everything in the book to say about those men now. Now men ain't ish, they trash. That man ain't this. Now he got a schmeat. Now his dick little. He got little dick energy.
I think everybody does it.
I said,
Because
like I said,
everybody,
majority of men. I didn't say everybody don't do it. I said majority of men keep their mouth shut on that situation. As in, if we don't talk, as in, I got plenty of exes right now. I don't speak.
do you listen to Drake at all, bro? That's all that man does.
Again, I said majority. I didn't say all. I said majority.
No. We're
So
talking. Are you saying like
again,
the men with money, like them red pill niggas? What? Do you listen to R&B music at all? Those are what?
They're not red pill niggas.
How they not?
anyway,
They're not. It's not the money that make you red pill. It's the
I'm not. I
attitude.
know
it's
that.
your
I'm not saying
demeanor. It's the way you address people and how
they're
your
red
essence,
people. They're red
how
pill
your
people.
No, they're not. They're
They
blue
feel
pill.
like they should be catered to
Drake
because
is
they work
blue pill.
hard.
Drake is a blue pill.
Yep.
In my offense, I'll even say Drake is. See, that's why I say you got to go through the pills with me because I ain't even gonna say
I don't
blue
know the
pill.
pills.
I'll
I don't know
probably
the pills.
say.
I don't
So
know red and
that's
Yeah.
gonna be topic for next week.
I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all off. I'm gonna tell you offline the way you can learn it. But yeah, I would consider him a different. He's not red pill because red pill is, and he would demand. As in prime example, red pill would have been when he slept when he got his baby mother pregnant and got her pregnant. He would have just been straight up and said, I got that girl pregnant. That's my baby. I'm going to do whatever I need to take. He knew for a fact that he got the wrong girl pregnant. So he tried to keep it under wraps, and he tried to keep it the way he was like, oh, this and the third. Then he'll tell you he one of those fake blue pill people too. That's why I say that. He's really a green pill, but I'm going to get y'all on that. He a green pill where he tell you blue pill stuff just to make you feel like he messing with, kind of like Justin LeBoy, where he make y'all feel like he on y'all side, all in all, just to get y'all to come over here to give him exactly what he want. He manipulating y'all into giving him exactly what he want, which is money.
I thought you said you didn't like the word manipulate.
I mean, it's
yeah,
the
because
truth.
I was about to say that's different. I wasn't gonna fact check you on it, but because I can understand like in this situation. But
Okay, well, he coerced you into thinking that he was he was a lovey-dovey, he's lovey-dovey, always singing this and the third, this and always in his feelings.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, so with all the different pills and the fact that, yes, granted, most women definitely demean men for not appreciating what we,
Most
for
times do,
not
honestly,
conforming
don't.
to what we want. However, granted, those women should not, how do I say this? Those type of women do not deserve the position that they got themselves into. Reason why? Because one, you have to be mature and let me finish. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Say that line again that you just said, and I
Yeah,
want
that
you
threw
to
me
really
off.
peep. I really want you to peep what you just said and how it didn't work. Like,
Okay, I get what I'm saying, but here, hold on. They
say it
deserve
again.
that. Okay, I said that they did not deserve the position that they are in because of the way they treated that person. You cannot conform people into believing or doing what you feel is necessary. However, what you can do is go out there and find somebody that is going to connect with you and be aligned with you and what you desire. Now, granted, I misstated what I needed to say. She does not need to conform somebody, and that's unprofessional on her part to conform somebody. A relationship can be business. However, if you're trying to have a healthy romantic relationship, it should not be that way. You should not have to conform somebody to think and do what
Well,
you feel is
you do.
necessary. Because, like you
You do.
said, it was
I'm not gonna lie
selfish.
to you. Let's be real. You do. You do to a certain degree where you have to, in order to be with someone you want to be with, eventually you have to compromise to understand that everything you do,
But
you're not gonna
compromising
do.
and coercing are like different, because then
Yes,
coercing
there's
is like
no.
it was like you were fake about it. Compromising is like we sit and we talk and it's just like, okay, I understand without like no fakeness, and I'm choosing to do this because you know for the
I'm willing to
betterment,
do
or
it.
like for, it's just different. I don't know how to explain it.
Yes. One compromising is when two people agree to something, even though that they understand that they cannot get the complete desires that they want from each other. However, they're finding a mutual ground that they can both agree to. While
Mhm.
coercing is actively either manipulating and suggesting and just forcing somebody against their will to actively do what you feel that is necessary. Those are two different things.
Mhm.
Now, I will apologize for what I said earlier, which was incorrect. However, I did rephrase what I wanted to say before I get canceled.
And I think that we should say, from my point of view, when we're talking about these things,
Yeah.
only because it makes it a lot easier, and so you're not, so people aren't like, because if we expect to get like bigger, so that people understand that like I don't ever want women to feel like I'm speaking for all women. I only can speak for me, baby. And when I
I
talk about
definitely
men,
wanted to
I don't
speak
want men to
to
feel like I'm speaking for all men, because I can only talk about the men that are in my life or were
Oh
in
no,
my
I
life.
ain't doing that. I'm sorry, I ain't doing that. If I'm speaking in general, I'm speaking in general. If I'm speaking a fact, it's a fact. I'm sorry.
Well,
I
if
come
it's
with
factual
facts. I'm not
Okay,
information,
just,
that's
then that doesn't
perfectly
matter.
fine.
That doesn't matter
but
if it's
I'm not going. If you saying let's not be biased, yeah, I'm not gonna be biased about the
no,
situation.
if it's a fact,
Yeah.
it's a fact. But as far as like our opinions, it's just like for me, this is how I feel because that's for me. So what I
Yeah.
feel may not be factual like it may not be a fact. That's just what works best for me.
Yes,
So
I'm definitely biased. I can't speak from all facts because I paraphrase too much. So,
What's good, fam? Oh, we got the easy E and everything. I'm for it.
hello.
yeah. But yeah, I think it'll just be easier that way. Like, cause I can't speak for all women. I don't know what women want. I can only give women. I can only give from a woman's standpoint, which is my own, and that's it. That's all I can do. Women out here don't mind traditional. I can't fight them on that. You want to be a stay at home, whatever, do your thing, baby. Some people want to be modern. baby, do what works best for
Just
you.
know who you looking for. Like I said, don't
Yes,
stop
I think
looking
that
for.
is the biggest. That is so
If
important. That
you're
is
gonna
so
be
important.
modern, if you're gonna be modern, go find you a modern man, a man who's willing to be okay with those situations. If you go find you if you want you a man, but understand those modern men, it's not a lot. It's not a lot of rich modern men. Like they're not rich most of the time, unless they're stream people on Twitch and all that stuff and on internet. But most of the time, they're not rich people. So
I
if you
don't think
look
a
for
lot
someone
of
with money, I'm just saying, not you. I'm just saying the people who are in those type, because a lot of time modern women like men, they want their man to have this type of money, this type of height, this type of whatever. If you looking for that, understand the man you looking for might not be the man you trying to get that's gonna be on your side on what you want to do. As
that's
in
a
the man
compromise.
you looking for is going to the man, and most of the time the man that they call out that they're looking for are red pill men. That's why I'm like, okay, you want traditional men, but you want a traditional man that's gonna let you be modern. And I'm like, you will never. That's not. It's not real. You're not gonna get that. You're never gonna get a traditional man that's gonna let you be modern and let you go shake your ass out in the world. No, he's traditional.
Basically, what you're saying is we can't have our cake and eat it too.
No, nobody can.
I
Men either. Men
think
can't either.
to a degree, and I think that is all about what you say you want when y'all first kick it. Like,
Be
don't say
realistic.
okay with XYZ and then get in this relationship and then now it's not cool with XYZ.
Be
Like,
realistic.
yeah, be realistic.
Again, majority of the time, people say right up front what they okay or what they okay with. Now, if it comes to if you talking about what you talking about, like as in certain jobs and doing certain things, it's ways. There's reason why a lot of men won't tell you because they're not in. Like I told you before, a lot of people that pill thing I was telling you, a lot of people are not in position to speak on those situations, especially when they first started dating you. Especially when they first start dating you, they cannot speak on that because we just started into it. Versus the type of men, versus those other type of men, red pill men or men like me who are, like I said, I'm purple pill. I'm going to tell you up front that I might have a problem with something that you're doing.
I think that everybody should be that honest, and I think that people should just let people know what they want. Like, because I definitely think that yes, there are traditional men out here that want traditional women, and there's traditional women that want traditional men. So I think those people should just be with those people. The modern people should be with the modern people, and for those that little weird branch like the tradition modern, I think there's some people like that too. Um, like in my relationship, my mate would love to take care of everything. That's cool. I still always want to have my own income for my own sake. Like, yeah, he take the garbage out, but if he not here, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, the garbage gonna sit for a couple days. So I think that we live in a world where traditional is cool, but sometimes you have to like update and figure out how to be modern. Yeah, I would love that he pay all the bills. It doesn't always work like that. So in the meantime, in between time, we gonna pay bills together. So that's why I think it's a nice little fusion. Like, we have some traditional things and then we have no gender roles in some things. Like, some stuff we both do. That's what I mean by no gender roles. Some stuff he
Man,
does.
Hello, darling.
Hey,
mess with the fro cuz.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just get whatever question you want.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm nervous.
Wait, you still talking? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, cuz.
No, I was just saying that I'm nervous.
I'm nervous now. I'm dead.
He wants to pose a question,
I
guys.
know. You
Yeah,
can
we
pose a
said she
Can
good.
question.
you
That's
let
what
her?
I'm nervous about.
She good. She answered the question.
Yeah, go ahead.
We like 30 minutes past time, but it's all right, man.
I totally understand. I totally see that, but go ahead.
She said, don't be scared. I swear.
Sometimes I forget that people watch this and her like letting me know she was here kind of
She
nervous.
said, I forgot people watch this. I swear.
I do, like, like I see you. I'm talking amongst ourselves,
Yeah, we
and
we
then people are
definitely see
here,
you.
Oh,
and
y'all can't see the number. That's why I see the number. So I'll be seeing people coming in and out.
Yeah,
so it's
but
not you personally. I'm just socially awkward.
go ahead and ask a question, darling. Go ahead.
While y'all do that, we're gonna have a dance break.
But no, it was funny because we went washing. We were at the laundromat, and Richie was helping me like do the laundry, and this lady was like, "Hey, I got a question. Are you like one of those? Are you guys like one of those couples that like don't have gender roles?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "I noticed like he's helping you, and like he doesn't just do one thing, and like you don't just do one thing." And I was like, "I mean, I guess if you put it that way, like it's never like we've never really talked about it. You know, we just do what fits best, whatever needs to be done in the house. Never mind."
I just want to know, I'm worried about getting his mental health, but he's from a lot of people who simply don't believe in therapy. I want to get a better understanding of what men think of therapy. Okay, so what's your question necessarily of what you? I'm guessing this is for me. I don't.
I think until somebody becomes
I think
self-aware.
until somebody becomes self-aware.
Why can't I hear me?
So I think Mocha got it on speaker, or she watching herself on Twitch.
But yeah, I think until somebody is never mind.
Okay, so
Oh, that's you, bro.
I'm gonna say it again. I was saying it earlier. Men, it's not men have an issue with therapy. It's that men have an issue with, you got to understand from the psychology today with the and I wish you was here earlier because we definitely had this conversation earlier. But with the psychology today article that everyone was talking about that went viral, it's men weren't taught how to communicate, as in the way how the world, the society now and the world it is, they want men to communicate how women communicate. And men can't, because we never learned how to communicate like that, as in to express and like as in to just jump from our emotions immediately, because we were taught that we have to yeah, watch it later when we're done. You can watch it later when we're done, because she said we can go back and watch it. Watch it later when we're done.
But were you done?
What's the butt? I didn't finish. But what's the butt?
Oh no, you can finish.
No, I finished. Go ahead. Hurry up. So your butt. That way I can finish.
Okay. But to piggyback off of that, I think sometimes men just feel like, well, I know in my situation, like, I think that it was just like, you know, I can just talk to you and you can help me with my problem. So what do I need to go to therapy for? And that's cool. That works too. But then it's just like
no, I don't consider that. I feel like he should go to therapy first.
I definitely,
come talk to you. The way he can at least come talk to you about his situations where you can understand it. But I don't think you should be the first person he run to about the situation.
I wouldn't want to be the first. Not that sounds horrible, but realistically speaking, I wouldn't want to be the first, solely because like I don't know how to deal with it all the time. And I'm not saying like, no, don't come and talk to me, but it's just like, you may need help bigger than me. I may just be like surface level. So it's just like, but now we're at a place to where like, you know, we agreed upon therapy and all that good stuff.
I've been told that I agree on therapy. Like I said, it's not, like I said earlier, it's not that men don't agree on therapy. It's that men have not been taught to speak on a lot of situations, as in not necessarily speak on it, but not express the same way how females express. So we express how we express, where we might say it and then we let it go. And then we don't keep saying it, or we don't keep talking about it. We don't keep bringing it to the thing. And it's like we stay on. We try to keep moving. We've been taught like that as a young age, that you got to keep moving. We heard no a lot when we was young. So it's like you couldn't be emotional for a long period of time. So when it came to going to talk to therapists now, especially with the situation that went viral on TikTok with the black woman therapist, that's the prime example why a lot of men have an issue with therapy, is that they feel like I'm going into therapy to go talk to somebody who doesn't necessarily care about how I feel for real. Because when we speak on how we feel, majority of the world tell you that they don't care about how you feel as a man. So when we hear that, it's like, all right, well then why am I going to go talk to somebody about how I feel when they probably don't even care in the first place? So they choose to not speak on it, when in reality, do they need therapy? I think everyone needs therapy, especially now these days, the era of time where therapy is definitely needed. And a lot of trauma has been dealt with. I think the issue is, like I said, is that the spectrum of emotions now has been brought to where it's strictly through the female lens. So if you have to do it like a female, and I don't think people understand that you can't do it like a female as a man, because if I do it like how you do it, I would be considered aggressive, and I would go to jail. I would be in some type of trouble, and someone would look at me differently. So I had to do it in a way where it makes sense for me, to where it makes sense for you. And sometimes it may not make sense for you all the way, but I have to. That's where men have to learn how to have communication and speak and articulate why they have a problem. So I definitely agree with that. Where articulation and having articulation is a problem. But I also will say this too, which I said this earlier in the thing, which I'm gonna say it again. People have a good issue where they like talking, but they don't like listening. So people will actually, a lot of times you'll hear people say, okay, I want to listen to your problems. Yet when they start talking about their problems, people like trying to bring it back to them. So I'll say, oh, I'm dealing with this. Well, you won't even understand what I'm dealing with because I'm dealing with this, and this too. So you wouldn't even understand and begin. So now all of a sudden, it's not about it's not about me talking to you no more. It's about you. So a lot of men just feel like, okay, if caring about me is not that, then I won't speak on it. How can we make that safe space? All honesty, and I was just telling this to Kayla and them earlier too. You have to let men make a safe space for themselves.
Yes.
As in, you cannot be in his safe space for him. There's no way, because you're part of the issue at sometimes too. Is there moments where you can be that? Yes, but you have to let him come to you first.
He has to
Be
want to
your
do
safe space. But you have to let him find his safe space on his own. As in, you have to let men be around other men and let them speak. Same way how you have to be around other females to earn your safe space and be around somebody who understands your struggle, your issues. He needs to be around them too. So let men be around men and have their safe space of understanding that it may not be in the way how you like it and how you want him to express himself, but long as he got it out to where he could come home to you and express himself in a way that makes sense to you, in a way it helps you and your relationship out. Now, if he's just being toxic and everything like that, then that's a different situation where they do have toxic moments as men, where I even ask with my homeboys, I'll be happy to say that. But the best way, like I said, the best way to do that is giving him his own space of doing that. And a
if
lot
he
of times,
chooses you,
go ahead.
just if he chooses you, just like listen actively, and I say actively like in response, like, to make sure you understand. So like if he's telling you something, just be like, hey, do you mean XYZ? And if it's yes, then you understand. And if it's no, just see if he can break it down a little more for you so that like you fully understand, or what's the point of even talking. And then maybe like, having you being there, or showing him a safe space can proactively help him move towards like therapy eventually. Like, may not be immediately, but you know, maybe that may be like the start of him getting comfortable talking to somebody. And then later on, you can bring up the idea of talking to somebody else in a different safe space, with training and all of that good stuff for better judgment or something. I don't.
Yeah. No, because I swear, especially if you know how to talk to your man the way he can understand you, like the way if women don't understand the power that y'all have over men, as in your words alone can make a man go to war for you. No cap. Your words alone would make a man go to war for you in a matter of a split second. But y'all don't understand that the things that come out sometimes make men not want to do stuff. So it's like, that's why I say you got to give him that space of saying, okay, yo, I'm gonna let you speak and let you get it out. Like that way, I understand. Sometimes you have to take things with a grain of salt. As in, sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes I'm just mad, and I'm just trying to get it out right now. You just in my way. You're just the first person I see right now. So right now, it's just coming out. Now, does it make it good for the person to do that? No, absolutely not. Someone, you should be able to channel that, but everybody's not. Especially in the time of era now where everything's emotional and nobody wants to think first. No, you got
Or
to
you
give
have
them
to
something to
understand,
think.
like, if somebody's just now starting their journey to like being able to emotionally like speak, then you have to not treat them like a child, but you have to understand like they're in their child phases of it, like their newborn phases of it. So you can't expect them to walk and crawl yet. Like, so yeah, they might just scream sometimes, and I'm not saying it's okay and that you should just be like, you should just take it because they're like immature with it. But sometimes you might have to like put your little vest on and let them scream a little bit, and then be like, did that make you feel better? And then just like continue from there, because I hate to use the word immaturity, but that's what it is, until like they fully mature and like they're able to do it. So it's just like sometimes it does get a little rough at first. It does get better, but it's a little rough at first because they're still trying to figure it out. Then you got your feelings, but you don't want your feelings to like overshadow it, and it's hard because you're still a human. But it'll get easier. It definitely just takes time. And they'll grow. Like eventually those tantrums will stop. And those tantrums may turn into like, just yelling. But at that point, they can yell and tell you what they need or yell and tell you what's bothering them. Not that that's okay, but we're not looking at the yelling. We're looking at the fact that now he's able to like tell you. That's still expression. It's not in a good way necessarily, but he's kind of made progression. Like instead of just like yelling and kicking and throwing, he's telling you how he feel, and then you just kind of like maneuver that a little bit, and it'll get better. It's God sees it. It's tough though. Like you gotta have a thicker shield.
You got to.
I would definitely suggest going to therapy first, because ultimately you do get, I won't say ultimately, but sometimes you can get hurt in the midst of it, because we're still humans and we internalize stuff. And so like you go in with the intentions to help, and sometimes you get hurt. And just because you get hurt and you're trying for the betterment doesn't mean that like you won't eventually act out too, because now your feelings are involved and now you got hurt. So. But you win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. So,
oh, fucking God. Oh my God. You win some and you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day.
You gotta know. Like, it's not always gonna be easy, which is why I think that you have to have discernment on like the person that you choose, because everybody deserves grace, but not everybody deserves like you. So it's nothing wrong with just being like, oh, okay, I understand you didn't mean that because you were having a moment, but that's not something I have to deal with. So I'm out of here. Some people you're going to have to do like that, but you got to know the people that you are going to walk through this process. You got to make sure that those going to be the people that you want to do that for. Because I can't say worth it, because I think everybody is worth it. Everybody got to want it. So.
She said, okay, so. I mean, we chilling.
I'm just chilling,
We chilling. It's just like, all right, because we usually, this is longer than we usually go, and then we usually be having like our own conversations.
We do, but all we was gonna do was talk about this a little bit more anyway.
So it's like, might as well do it here while we got people watching, right?
Yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. I know you. I guess you about to go out with Mocha. I don't know. So if you for go with Mocha, don't let her be crazy, please. That girl like doing crazy stuff.
She can be as crazy as she want to be.
Shoot, look. Her friend said it right there. True.
In all caps.
Oh yeah, anytime. Just come in, ask your questions if you ever want to. Anytime. You can always look at that. We always be having people randomly comment out of nowhere. Hey, we want to talk about something. Okay, here, and then go about our business. She said, I wish. Sure. You good? Listen, you're not going to disrespect. You're not going to disrespect us. You're not going to disrespect us.
As long as you know, because
I
call them the TTs.
Watch your mouth.
That's a different conversation.
Watch your mouth. Y'all not going to disrespect us. Y'all ain't going to do us like that. You was on my team.
I don't know what you want to get, though, so I'm going to shut up.
No, I'm being either.
But they the TTs. They the TTs. Toxic force.
I'm hearing a bunch of cap.
I'm just telling you what the world said, all right?
I'm hearing a bunch of cap, okay?
I don't know. I just said I don't know nothing about
Aqua. I'm guessing Aquarius. You know what? I'm going to let you have that. I'm going to just say the Aquarius I know was not a tugged along one. She was definitely willingly going places. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the Zodiac girls say that what's the other two shit? That it matters. The other two shit matters too. So you can't just go off. What is it? The rising and the. I don't fucking know.
You asked the wrong person. I don't know. I know, but I'm double Taurus, so I don't even know.
You really a TT out here in these streets?
All right, okay.
You a TT for sure.
Okay, I'm double Taurus, and I think the other one was, I don't even remember. I don't even know. Let me see. I probably can. Oh, yeah, we love her. That's our little boo-boo. That's our little boo-boo. Oh, boo-boo, boo-boo. That's my little boo-boo.
Okay, relax.
Come on, boo-boo.
Relax.
Man. Well, we appreciate you for coming though. Come anytime, every time.
Thank
We
you.
try to do this, Monday, Wednesday, Friday type stuff.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, you know
We gonna be live all them any day.
that? Baby, yeah.
That's
Either
it.
live on Instagram or live on here.
Y'all crazy.
What you mean?
I ain't know that.
Yes, we do that. You ain't gonna say that here online, Alex. You
I'm
hush
gonna
your
be
mouth.
asleep.
Yeah, I bet. It's all right. You're gonna be sleepily replaced.
Wow, that's crazy. Y'all know my life about to get busy and y'all wanna replace me?
My life about to get busy. Oh
It
my
is.
God.
I'm about to start getting up mad early, so I know I'm gonna start going to sleep mad early.
Welcome to the team.
I'm gonna be
Welcome to
knocked
the
out
team.
at 7:00, and I ain't gonna get up until about 6:00. Yeah.
But hey, man, this was a great show. I appreciate y'all for coming, even though it was supposed to be an all men panel today, but we did not do it because people suck.
No, say men suck because that's who didn't show up for you today.
True. I'm gonna say men suck today. Y'all suck today. Y'all suck today. I mean, they suck in general, but everybody
Men suck in general, or these men
Everybody suck.
talking about?
Yeah, everybody suck in
Now
general.
speak for yourself.
Everybody, Kayla, you trash. Don't even know.
I'm hot garbage, boy. If I am,
Exactly.
like, no, I'm just
Exactly. Hard garbage. And Nina, hush. I'm not hearing you, Nina. I'm not even gonna address you. Okay, I'm sick of your shit. Yeah, this has been a great show. I appreciate y'all for being here, rocking with us, listening. Shout out to Mocha who wasn't here, but she was here, but wasn't here no more, but still here in spirit. But shout out to Nita being here in the background, talking her ish in the back and just listening. Follow us here on DieTyeRadio. Shout out to my dog Kayla. I was just about to say shout out Kayla. Dang, trying to about she coming back. Yeah, I bet she coming back. She better come back.
You call me hot garbage. I mean, you call me garbage. No, you said I suck. That's what you said.
I said everybody suck.
And I said not me, and then you said
you part of everybody, right? You a human. I'm part of everybody. I suck too.
Speak for yourself. I do not suck. I'm the best thing since sliced bread. All right.
Talking about the sliced bread that got all moldy and threw out in the trash can?
Before then, I don't know how they was cutting bread, so I don't know why the saying is the best thing since sliced bread, but I'm the best thing since '96. So don't make that face. It doesn't really matter what you think. In reference to me.
Come on, leave her be. Leave her be. We ain't do that. Cause she talking about you, leave you be. I ain't do that.
Cause you over here bothering me.
Yeah, that's people for you, man. Now we gonna go ahead and I guess call it because it's 2 hours now, bro.
Yeah, it's 2 full hours.
2 full hours. We don't do that ever. We just did 2 full hours, so I'm pretty much.
It wasn't even all of us. Like that's more understanding when it's like 5, 6, 7 of us.
You feel me, like, bruh?
Oh, we had to fight today. And I think we chilled out today because it was a men's topic and it was supposed to be for the men. So we just had, a little more composure today. Don't make that face.
I'm hearing a bunch of cap right now. Okay.
That's not cap.
A bunch of cap.
That's not
but
cap.
Yeah, go ahead and let them know. Obviously, I'm gonna put it at the bottom, but let them know where to find you at Instagram.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at KAYY_Lamone LAMON.
There you go, right there. You can follow me right there at ZHuno. Y'all probably can't see that. I'm tripping. Then yeah. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. We've been here. If you've been here this long, you a goat. If you just came in, you still a goat. Just a mini goat. If you was here at the beginning, you're really a goat because that was 2 hours ago. So, but yeah. Y'all have a good one. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. We shall see y'all on Monday. Get ready for the pill conversation. I'm finna put it on y'all to learn the pills. Kayla, I'm gonna tell you once we get off. But y'all gonna learn these pills. And y'all gonna learn to take these pills. But after that, y'all gonna have a good one, okay? Peace out, y'all. Gang gang shit.